Klay Thompson's time with the Dallas Mavericks has turned into an absolute nightmare, and no one is feeling the weight of that disappointment more than he is. But how exactly did things unravel so drastically? How did a team that entered the season with sky-high expectations suddenly find itself struggling just to remain in playoff contention? And most importantly, what does this disastrous turn of events mean for Klay Thompson's future in the league? When Thompson made the bold decision to leave the Golden State Warriors and sign with the Mavericks, his objectives were clear. He envisioned forming a dynamic and formidable trio alongside Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, aiming to lead Dallas back to the NBA Finals and, ideally, secure another championship ring. On paper, the move seemed like a logical step towards success. However, in reality, the situation deteriorated in ways no one could have predicted. The first person to publicly voice frustration about the Mavericks' struggles was none other than Klay Thompson's father, Michael Thompson. During a candid interview on ESPN Los Angeles, he did not hold back. He openly admitted that this was far from what Klay had anticipated when joining Dallas. According to Michael, Klay genuinely believed the Mavericks had all the necessary pieces to compete for a title. Yet, what followed was a series of unfortunate events that derailed those championship aspirations. The downward spiral began with an unexpected bombshell: the departure of Luka Doncic. In a shocking move that sent shockwaves throughout the NBA, the Dallas front office made the controversial decision to trade their franchise cornerstone. The rationale behind the trade was to bolster the team's defense and add more depth to the roster. However, the gamble backfired spectacularly. Losing Doncic stripped the team of its identity, and without their most dominant playmaker, the Mavericks found themselves plummeting down the standings. As if that setback wasn't devastating enough, injuries began to pile up, further crippling the team. Anthony Davis, who was brought in to be a game-changing force for Dallas, barely had a chance to make an impact before suffering a serious injury that sidelined him indefinitely. Meanwhile, Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively also found themselves battling injuries, forcing them to miss several weeks of action. The absence of these key big men severely weakened the team's interior defense, leaving glaring vulnerabilities in their lineup. Then came the final crushing blow. Kyrie Irving, the team's other star player and primary ball handler, was also sidelined due to injury. With Doncic gone and Irving out, Klay Thompson was left virtually alone, tasked with shouldering the burden of carrying the Mavericks through a brutal stretch of games. The result? A catastrophic freefall in the standings, with the team now teetering on the brink of elimination. Michael Thompson did not sugarcoat his assessment of the situation. He pointed out that if the team were to lose 10 consecutive games, it would become the biggest story in the NBA. However, he also acknowledged that a sliver of hope remained. If the injured players could make their way back onto the court in time, the Mavericks could potentially fight for a play-in spot, and with some luck, even cause an upset in the first round of the playoffs. But without Kyrie Irving, he made it clear. Dallas's postseason hopes were as good as dead. Amid all this chaos, one aspect that hasn't received as much attention is Klay Thompson's own future with the Mavericks. According to sources close to the player, he is deeply unhappy with how things have unfolded. His frustration has reached such a peak that there are already murmurs suggesting that Klay might attempt to force his way out of Dallas before the season concludes. However, there's a significant hurdle standing in the way of a potential exit: his contract. Given his current level of production, which has fallen below expectations, finding a team willing to take on his hefty salary could prove to be an uphill battle. And there's another wrinkle to consider. Some NBA analysts speculate that if the Mavericks fail to turn things around, the franchise may opt for a full-scale rebuild. If that happens, no one on the roster is safe. That includes not just Klay Thompson, but also head coach Jason Kidd, whose future with the organization is increasingly uncertain. The looming question remains: can the Mavericks salvage their season, or is all hope lost? And just how soon could we see Klay Thompson on the move? Meanwhile, over in the Bay Area, the Golden State Warriors are facing their own set of challenges. The franchise is entering a critical rebuilding phase, and one thing is abundantly clear: they need to fortify their defense to remain competitive in the NBA. With some of their key players aging and the roster still struggling to find balance, the Warriors are already scouting potential reinforcements for the upcoming season. One name generating buzz behind the scenes is Precious Achiuwa of the New York Knicks. While Golden State has a handful of promising big men, there is a pressing need for a versatile and experienced defender who can elevate the team's defensive capabilities. According to Matthew LeGros of Empire Sports Media, Achiuwa could be the exact type of player the Warriors need. LeGros noted in his analysis that although Golden State has some competent bigs, acquiring a player like Achiuwa, who can defend multiple positions and protect the rim effectively, would be a major boost for the team. But what makes Achiuwa such an intriguing option? Standing at 6 feet 6 inches, 1.98 meters, he may not possess the towering height of a traditional center, but he compensates for it with elite athleticism, strength, and an exceptional defensive mindset. During his tenure with the Knicks, he established himself as one of the team's most intense defenders, excelling at contesting shots, closing out spaces, and battling aggressively for rebounds. His tenacious playing style has even drawn comparisons to Draymond Green, a quality the Warriors highly value. However, there is one potential red flag for fans to consider. Achiuwa missed the start of the season due to a hamstring injury, only making his return on December 5th. In his comeback game, he contributed 2 points and 4 rebounds in a dominant 125-101 victory over the Charlotte Hornets. Since then, his performances have been solid, but relatively under the radar. Over the course of the season, he has averaged 6.9 points and 6.2 rebounds per game, while shooting an efficient 52% from the field. Despite his modest offensive numbers, his defensive impact remains his strongest attribute. Now, this leads to an intriguing debate. Should the Warriors consider trading Trayce Jackson-Davis for Precious Achiuwa? Jackson-Davis has quickly become a fan favorite in Golden State, thanks to his ability to finish at the rim and his reliability as a weak side defender. However, many analysts believe that Achiuwa, with 6 years of NBA experience under his belt, could represent a significant upgrade. Additionally, sources within the Warriors organization indicate that head coach Steve Kerr has taken a keen interest in Achiuwa's playing style. Kerr reportedly sees him as a key piece in strengthening Golden State's defensive core, an area that has plagued the team in recent seasons. Another factor working in Achiuwa's favor? He has been gradually developing a three-point shot. While he isn't a consistent perimeter threat yet, his improved shooting ability could add an extra dimension to the Warriors' offensive scheme. Furthermore, some NBA insiders suggest that Golden State may not stop at just Achiuwa. There are rumors that the team could pursue a package deal involving not just him, but another Knicks player as well. One name that has surfaced in discussions is Mitchell Robinson, signaling the possibility of an even larger shakeup for the Warriors in the near future. Now the ball is in Golden State's court. Will they make a bold move to bolster their defense? Or will they opt to stick with Jackson-Davis and continue his development? And what do you think? Would Precious Achiuwa be a valuable addition to the Warriors? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more NBA updates, rumors, and in-depth analysis. Oh, and if you're curious about other potential moves the Warriors could make, be sure to check out this other video right here. You won't want to miss it.